Hello, welcome to Bot Thoughts with Geartooth Red Jefferson. We just watched episode 3 of season 6 of BattleBots, and this is the review show. Thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Sound off in the chat. Let me know you're here because I put a lot of effort into the illustrations that you'll see. I'm trying to add something, 1%. Get 1% better each day. That's the goal. That's the dream. So yes, by the way, the name changed from Bot Thoughts. Well, it changed from Talkin Bots to Bot Thoughts. It sounds more fun. Bot Thoughts, there's a lot going on there. Sound off if you think that's better. Let me know if you think that's better. Also, the hard hat. This is a hard hat. I've gotten a lot of comments thinking that this is a bowler, but it's not a bowler. It's a black hard hat. Because I'm Geartooth Red Jefferson and I'm talking about bots, it all goes with the theme. Thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Anything else I need to cover? Also an apology. I got a lot of flack last week for talking trash about Tantrum. And I'm not going to take back what I said, but I'm going to walk it back a little bit and just say they did have a good showing against Sawblaze, and I overlooked that when talking about them. Not saying Sawblaze is the #1 person that's ever been. I'm not going to say that either. But they did have a good showing against Sawblaze. We have to start talking bots. We're going to start talking bots very soon. Jump in the chat. Let me know you're here. I'm not going to stop saying that. Moving on. Okay. We're going to go with the first shot of the night. We got Hypershock versus SLAMMO. Hypershock versus SLAMMO. Hypershock is back. It's run by Will Bales. It's a vertical spinner, and it drives real fast. That's what he's known for. He's known as one of the best drivers in the league, and it's just a very fast. Who was talking trash? Roy asks who was talking trash in reference to Tantrum. There's some comments. Roy, you should check out the comments in the last episode. A lot of people were very upset with some of the things I said about Tantrum. Yeah, so this is a very fast bot. Will Bales, kind of annoying. I'm not a big fan of Will Bales. He kind of has this person, like he would describe himself as having a wacky personality. And only the worst people would describe themselves with a wacky personality. But he's out here again, fast bot, and they're going against SLAMMO. SLAMMO here, very uncreative name. I hate the name. Don't mind the bot. It's a grapple bot here. It's got 2 forks that pinch, and it's got a funky camo 3D artwork design. Apparently, if you wear 3D glasses when looking at the bot, it's supposed to pop. That is according to the owners. I think it's Craig Danby. 3D glasses grapple bot. Very exciting. But this match, let's see what this match turned out to be. By the way, I made some predictions online. On Instagram. You should follow me, red_Jefferson. And also make sure to subscribe. Subscribe to Loser Leaves Wrestling. And also just look at BattleBots. Watch more BattleBots. They need our support. They truly need our support. But it starts off, they meet in the middle. They kind of go right towards each other. And immediately, Hypershock breaks off a piece of poor SLAMMO. And then they moves them into the hammers. And then the hammers start going towards them. And that spinner of Will Bales is pretty deadly. Starts getting some flipping action. I think we'll get a flip or two in here. Not a lot of flipping today. But we're going to get some. We're going to get 180 degree. What? No, I flipped the wrong bot. God damn it. See, this is a work in progress. We're all working in progress here. Flip the bot 180 degrees. We get that in the corner with the hammers. And it gets stuck there. Big hits, very fast match. And Will Bales, I keep calling him Bill. I think Bill Bales would be better. He gets the big victory here. Not a surprise. I was not surprised by this. I don't think anyone should be. I called it. You could see that I called it in my Instagram, red_Jefferson. But there's no moving on yet. This is all round robin style. For those of you that don't know, they're trying to get a best seed placement for the Big 32. So essentially, he's just this was a very impressive win. Very impressive, very fast. And Hypershock has a way of looking really great at the start of each season. And then floundering once it gets to the playoffs. So we're going to see how that goes. Oh, whoa, I'm messing up that background. I like Hypershock a lot more than I did last year. Will Bales was much more humble than I was expecting after his win. Usually he's more of a showboat and he says stupid things, but not this time. He was very gracious, and that's nice, and we appreciate that from him. Moving on, we've got our next fight of the night. Valkyrie versus P1. Valkyrie versus P1. Let's talk about Valkyrie. Okay, Valkyrie won Most Destructive Bot last year, and I'm going to be honest with you. I've never been a Valkyrie fan. It's an interesting. It looks awesome. It looks like a great design. It's a horizontal spinner with a disc at the bottom. It's supposed to wear away at the bottom of your bot, maybe take out some tires. But the thing is, it's so close to the ground, it can't go. It can't be inverted. The minute it's inverted, it starts flipping, flopping around, as you see in this match tonight. And I'm ashamed to say I picked Valkyrie to win this fight. And not ashamed to say. It's a good bot, and it does get some good hits, but frequently I find that it's a victim of its own weapon. It hurts itself frequently. It bounces around. It slams into walls. Usually the weapon breaks. And here we got P1. P1 was about, I think there was a rookie year last year. It's this like real sharp looking race car bot, really fast. It's got a little flipper mechanism on top, and I honestly like it. It's got a lot of character. They drive it really well. It's run by Brandon Zielinski, and also Leanne Cushing is the one that runs Valkyrie. And P1, honestly, I didn't have P1 winning this one because I kind of forgot what P1 could do. They're very zippy. They had some good wins last year against not so great bots, so it didn't really advance too far. But they had this match. Let's talk about this fight. Let's talk about it. So we're back in the battle box here. By the way, sound off if you like this battle box. I'm thinking about revamping it because we do need to add that elevated platform in the back. If anyone has any information on where to get the design for the elevated platform, I would love to hear it. All right, so we get this, and so what did I say? Under their fest. So P1 goes straight for Valkyrie, and they immediately start getting under them. How do I move this one forward? I have to move this one forward. Move to top. There we go. Starts getting underneath Valkyrie, pushing them around, messing with their weapon, getting it to fall on its face, and starts stuttering around, smashing into the ground. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good for Valkyrie going off immediately. And then we get a little fire. We get a little fire with this fire. Oh, dang it. I have to move that one forward too. These are the things we have to work on. These are the things that we have to fix. Move to top. There we go. And we start getting some fire action. Valkyrie's still running, but it's on fire. It's upside down frequently. Then smoke starts happening. We do have smoke now. And we have smoke coming out of the top of Valkyrie. The fire doesn't last too long. But P1 does get a victory here. P1 gets it inverted, flips on its back, spinning, the weapon broke, but it does go to the limit. Let me invert it real quick so that everyone could see what an accurate depiction of what this looked like. What did I do? Oh, I inverted the fire. What's wrong with me? We're inverting Valkyrie. So it gets the judge's decision, and no surprise, Valkyrie got P1 got the victory here. P1 is a bot to look at. Very low to the ground. Very, very fast. Great driving. Valkyrie, there's something about the design of that bot that just doesn't seem stable. The minute it gets hit from underneath, it starts floundering, and I know it's very low to the ground, so it's technically hard to get underneath them, but if you got some good scoops, if you got some good forks, you're going to do it. And and then P1 pulled out the victory here. And this was my first wrong answer of the night. This is the first time that I was like, oh, this was wrong. Because I was really, I completely forgot what these bots could do. I keep thinking Valkyrie, oh, most destructive bot last year. And yeah, they did a lot of damage, but I don't know. P1 really got the win here. Here's the smoking Valkyrie as they finish out the fight. I'm liking P1 for this year. I don't think they're going to go terribly far. I see them getting into the round of 32. Do I see them getting a top seed? No. But I do see them going pretty far. So great job, Brandon Zielinski. Great job, Brandon Zielinski, for your second season here. Now we're moving on to some real high intensity action. We're moving on to Huge versus Riptide. Huge, I think their first season was in season 3, and they were a very novel looking bot. Here they are with these big old wagon wheels, and they got this big vertical spinner in the middle, and it's got this mean looking face. A really cute bot. Honestly, it's pretty adorable. I like the way it looks. I like the way it moves. I like this bot. It does a lot of damage. And they come in from the top. I really like what they could do. It's run by a guy named Jonathan Schultz. But they had a rough last season. And it wasn't because the bot was failing. It's because people kind of figured out what to do with Huge. Get it stuck in the screws. Get it stuck against the wall. You're not going to be able to attack that middle section because most people's weapons don't go up that high. So you have to kind of push it around, and it's very easy to push around because those wheels don't have good grip. They don't have a very good grip. But I did have Huge winning against this newcomer here. We got Riptide. Riptide doesn't look like much. Pretty low to the ground. It's got an egg beater drum right in the middle. It's got some 2 forks here. It's run by a rookie team. The captain is Ethan Kurtz. Here. And, not much to gather from it. They really, this guy has a lot of energy. Roy's in the chat talking about Riptide. I think Roy became a fan of Riptide tonight, even though I think Roy loves the big bots. It was unfortunate. But Riptide this match, let's talk about the match. We got them going right out. Riptide just launches at a Huge here. And Huge, for some reason, because it has the option of spinning both ways. So it could spin in a downward motion or an upward motion. Now, if it were swinging in an upward motion, it would probably have flipped Riptide onto its back. But it was swinging in a downward motion against its egg beater. They had a weapon-on-weapon collision. And then Huge, which is pretty light, it's not a heavy bot, goes flying. It goes flying to the side, goes flying into the screws. Let's get some, I wish I could rotate it easier. I have to flip it. Let's see how we could flip it. We have to flip horizontally. So you got flipped onto the screws here, and immediately Riptide pushes it into the corner, gets it lodged in there, and then you get the 10 count. And Huge gets the quick loss to this rookie bot, Riptide. I'm honestly, this is obviously a very powerful bot. It's got a very powerful weapon. I'm curious to see how it goes, how it fares against other big drum spinners or big vertical spinners. But honestly, it was a little shocking, and I feel bad. I really feel bad for Jonathan Schultz because they had a rough year last year, and they always wear their mask. Jonathan always wears his mask when he comes out. Everyone else is all flippant with it, but he wears his mask every single time. And this poor guy can catch a break. We have some comments here. Big bots always look like so much fun. They do look like a lot of fun. You're seeing a lot of the best big bots now. But I love a rookie, an underdog. By the way, that after the post-match interview with this guy, he has a lot of character. This Ethan Kurtz said he's very amped for the win. Very excited. And then his dad is a part of the team. And the dad is just like, so proud of my boy, all that stuff. And then Chris Rhodes asked something silly like, are you about to cry? And he's like, yeah, maybe. And it was very touching, even though Chris Rhodes was inappropriate. Yeah. Riptide gets the win here. I should make them bigger so everyone knows what I'm talking about. These are the illustrations. This is happening. Riptide is doing well so far. Good rookie start. Good first match. I had Huge winning, and this is another loss for me. But let's keep the losses coming for Red, because next we get Fusion versus Cobalt. Here. All right, Fusion is a part of the Ewart family, and as everyone knows, I hate the Ewart family. I don't like them. I think of them as sneaky cheats. But here's their bot. It started off last year and it had a terrible rookie season. This is both a vertical and a horizontal spinning bot. It's got the vertical spinner up front and the horizontal spinner in the back. So it's got 2 different ways of going about it. Sounds like a great idea, but last year, this thing constantly caught on fire. It seems like they almost had too many weapons going where the bot couldn't keep up with it. The motors couldn't keep up with it, set on fire, and I wasn't expecting much. This is from the youngest Ewert, Reese Ewert. We haven't heard much from. Pretty quiet guy, but I'm assuming I hate him. But then next we have Cobalt here. Cobalt here, boy, this is the child that's been passed around. This bot is a British bot that was then sold to the Megabyte family of bots. And then they have this guy named Matt Maxim driving it. Matt Maxim. And it's this vertical, vicious looking vertical spinner. Really took Duck to task last night. We're going to talk about Duck later, how heartbreaking that is. But it's a vicious vertical spinner, and I definitely had Cobalt winning this one. We have some comments. Hyped. Chris Rhodes was extra lame tonight. It's very true. Chris Rhodes was extra lame. I concur. And not trying to say... And by the way, if any BattleBots people are watching this, I'm not trying to talk shit about your announcers. I just want a shot. So I'm trying to make noise for you to look at me. So if you're looking at me, this is working. This is working. By the way, sign the petition online to get me on BattleBots. You could go to my Instagram. Have I already told you about that? It's red_Jefferson. You should all check that out. So here's the match. Here's what let's get started with this thing. Fusion gets the big hits early on. They go weapon to weapon here. And each time they go weapon to weapon, Cobalt here keeps flipping. Flips so much that it keeps flipping onto its right side. And it keeps charging back at it, flipping right in the center too. They keep going head to head, and surprisingly, Fusion held up and kept his ground. Now I don't know how to. Now I'm flipping in ridiculous ways. I don't know how to get back to normal. Shoot, now I'm really losing it here. Flipped, get 90 degrees. I'll figure it out. But it keeps getting flipped, and then lands on its head in the corner, and they get the 10 count. The Ewert family gets a win here. The youngest Ewert, Reese, gets that win. And Reese did, in the post match, Reese was talking, and he said that his brother, I forget his name, Eric Ewert, whatever his name is, the guy that runs Hydra, he said he's the most hated guy on TV last year, and Donald Trump was on television. He made fun of Trump, he made fun of his brother, made fun of his family. I'm liking Reese Ewert a little bit more. I'm liking Reese Ewert a little bit more than anyone else in his family right now. So I'm not so upset that he won, except for the fact that I lost again. Thank God I don't bet money on this. Thank God there's no money on this, because I would have really had a rough night. But Fusion, after a rough last season, starting to look good this year. Not sure where it's going to go, but they did get a big win over Cobalt, and Cobalt is a pretty powerful bot. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this Ewert family goes. I would love to see him versus his brother. I would love to see that, because I think he could get underneath him and really tear up that flipper, and I really want his brother to pay. But anyway, we got to move on. We got more bots to talk about. Next up, we have Black Dragon versus Icewave. Black Dragon, and by the way, I don't know if you all noticed this, but we do have more graphics, as you could see. We have the explosion graphic, as you could see there, and then we have the smoke graphic in the corner. Explosion and smoke. Just in case, I have to get something for missing wheels and missing pieces, but we'll work on that. Now we have Black Dragon here. Black Dragon, Brazilian team, this year run by Gabriel Maia. They had a really great last year. It's this egg beater drum right on top. Very fast bot. I like the team. I like their moxie. They got a little duck as a mascot, which is cute, and they spit out flames, which I like. Very fun team. And they're going against old-timey bot Icewave. I had Icewave to win. Icewave is this giant horizontal spinner, this long-ass blade, and it looks good. It looks good. You think that this would win because of how powerful it is. It's got this big-ass motor. It sounds amazing. But the thing is, I think people figured out how to defeat Icewave. We're going to talk about that right now. Chica Marks writes, I signed the petition. Come on, BattleBots, right? Thank you so much, Chica Marks, for supporting. We need more support. Let the people know. Let the people know. So this is the trick with defeating Icewave. You charge into it immediately. You just run into Icewave and stop it from getting up to full speed. They go weapon on weapon with these guys and then just kind of push them around the bot. They can't do anything because they're not fast enough to get away from a Black Dragon. So they keep mushing them around. It becomes a pushing fight. And the forks get in the way, all this stuff. And, oh, wait, no, that's not the forks get in the way. Pushes them around the box and they pushes them to the corner. They can't move anymore. They can't move anymore because they got so many big hits that it burned out their motor. And now a Black Dragon gets the win and I get another loss. I'm happy, though, that Black Dragon gets the win here because I like the team. I think they got a lot of heart. They got a lot of heart, and I want to see them do well. I want to see them succeed. They had a great last year, and I don't know what I was thinking Icewave would get away with this. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe the hard hat is cutting off circulation in my brain, and now I don't know what's going on in BattleBots anymore. I usually have such a perfect record, but here's Black Dragon getting the victory. They barely spewed out any fire, which was unfortunate because I have the fire illustration right there. But yeah, we get Black Dragon with the victory. We'll see how they do. I'm expecting them to go far. I'm expecting them to be a top 10 seed because they're very durable and very fast, and they got a lot of heart. Got a lot of heart, and that's what we like here. Now we're getting on to the heartbreak of the evening. Really crushing to me personally. We get Witch Doctor versus Duck. And before we get to Duck, we got Witch Doctor here. Witch Doctor, a fan favorite of many. I'm fine with them. They're a spinner, a vertical spinner, and they got this funky skeleton decoration on there. Very, very fun. It's a fun-looking bot. It's run by Andrea and Mike Galutli. Very fun name. It's a double vertical spinner, usually. I don't know if it's a double vertical spinner today, but yeah, very powerful. It's had some great seasons in the past. Then they had some weird seasons where they had some issues with a lot of smoke, a lot of internal fires happening in this bot that they couldn't really control. And today they're facing Duck. Now, Duck wasn't here last year. Duck is my favorite bot. Duck historically has been my favorite bot. Why? Because it's got moxie. It's got heart. It's unbreakable. This is a bot breaker. That's what this bot does. It's designed to break your bot. And I think they added too much this year. Usually it's just a beak. Usually it's just a beak. Now, it doesn't open. It's not a flipper. It's just this it's like a shield up front. It's the shield up front that they use to kind of jam into spinners and weapons. And they switched out this year because of new rules. There's new rules in BattleBots that if you have a lifter, it has to lift over a foot. It has to lift about a foot. And so they had to change the design, so we changed it to this. If it stayed like this, how you see in the picture, it would have been fine. I would have been fine with this, and I think it would have fared better. But those forks, they added forks to this thing, 2 forks on the front, and it got in the way. It immediately got in the way of how fast Duck is, or how fast Duck could be. And so this is what happened in the fight. Immediately they go crashing into each other. Actually, it was a little slow at first. They kind of danced a little bit of a dance, as you can see here from the illustration. They're dancing around each other, they're having some fun, and then they start smashing and crashing into each other. They start bumping in, and Duck's, one of their forks gets smashed off immediately, of course, because it's in the way, and you don't need that. Roy writes, love Duck's bill gimmick. It's a great bill gimmick. It's cute, and I think it does quack. I think there is an audible quack. Someone could help me confirm that. But we got a lot of smashes and crashes in there. And eventually it breaks Witch Doctor's weapon. It breaks Witch Doctor's weapon, and we do get a little bit of smoke, as you can see right there. Get a little bit of smoke coming out of Witch Doctor. But Witch Doctor really was controlling this fight for the most part, pushing it around. Duck did get some action in later on, but it wasn't enough. And then they wedge Duck's beak into the screws right at the end. And this was a judge's victory for Witch Doctor. Now, why is it heartbreaking for Red? Why is this heartbreaking? Because Duck can be such a big contender. It's had some great years. Its initial year, it surprised a lot of people. Second year went head-to-head with Tombstone and only lost from judge's decision, I believe. So I really think that these forks are getting in the way. I think Duck needs to be a truer to form, which is just be an indestructible bot and go real fast. That's what Duck has to do. And get rid of those forks, and then I think it would have fared a lot better against Witch Doctor had it not had those things getting clogged up in the floor or in the screws. But yeah, Witch Doctor gets the win here. They're a fine bot. I do see them going far because this was a pretty okay showing, even though Duck did break their spinner. So we'll see about that, see how that pans out. But we have Witch Doctor with the win here. Fine. Moving on, we got the main event of the evening. We have Copperhead versus Lockjaw. Honestly, I'm going to be honest here. Don't feel like this is a main event. Don't feel like this is a terrible... Now, hold on. Before I'm going to get some hate, because I already got some hate for the tantrum comments. Both of these bots are great. Copperhead had a great last year, up until a point. I think it had some drive issues, and also some gyroscopic issues because of the drum spinner there goes so hard that it kind of flies off its own wheels at times. But Lockjaw, well, we'll talk about Lockjaw in a second. Copperhead here, that big drum spinner up front, very vicious, sounds amazing. It's got this fun snake theme. It's run by who is it run by? Robert and Kimberly Cow, I believe it is. They had a different captain last year, but it's run by a husband-wife team this year. They brought a snake to the ring. It was very cute. They also have some mini snake bots. They're little nuisance bots that are very cute as well. So it's got a lot going for it. I had Copperhead winning this one. Then we have Lockjaw here. Now, Lockjaw is run by Donald Hudson, a BattleBots legend, because he's won so many big nuts in the past. I'm sorry, I have to say big nut. That's the way what they call the trophy. I didn't choose that. And it's got this big vertical spinner up front. It's got the forks. It's a cute bot. Could drive inverted. He's a great driver. Donald Hudson is a great driver. And so, but the thing is, this bot, even though it's a great driver and a pretty good bot, it's never lived up to what Donald Hudson can do. I think there's always been some sort of issue. It just seems like, I don't know, there's a delicate touch to it. I think I find that it gets hurt a lot. Like the weapon breaks, starts smoking, one of the wheels falls off. Even though you could drive with 3 wheels, it just doesn't do it for me. But we get a long match here. It goes, I believe, the distance, right? Yeah, it goes the distance here. And they're smashing and crashing into each other. Starts off a little like a little dance, and then they start going weapon to weapon. And it was, at first, the first few hits looked evenly matched up until Lockjaw got flipped. Here we go. We're getting some flipping action right now. Here we go. Gets flipped once. Gets flipped a bunch of times in this fight. And it seemed like there was times when it was going a little back and forth. But Copperhead definitely kept getting the momentum. They had a little trouble with driving. At points, but once Lockjaw got flipped inverted for the 4th or 5th time, it was really curtains for... Oh, I flipped the wrong bot again. This is what happens when I get excited. Let's get to Lockjaw here. Flipped again into the corner. And it bounces around on its head a few times. Big hits. The wheel's about to fall off the entire time. And then it's on top of Copperhead at one point. It just starts grinding away. That big drum spinner starts grinding on top of Lockjaw there. And it just stops moving. I think we get smoke. I don't think there was a lot of smoke, but I just want to use this smoke graphic again just to keep things going. But we get a win. We get a judge's decision. Clean sweep. Oh, no, it wasn't clean sweep. It was a splits decision. But I don't think anyone was confused as to why Copperhead won. I do see Copperhead getting a top seed. They are a very powerful bot. I saw them winning against Lockjaw. I see them winning against a lot of people. When I said earlier that I don't see this as a main event, I don't know. Copperhead hasn't... Lockjaw made a name for itself just because of Donald Hudson. Donald Hudson is a main event player. But Copperhead, I don't know. I just want big names. I like big names at the top. And I don't think of Copperhead as a big name. I think of Witch Doctor as a big name. I think of Huge as a big name. I think of Hypershock as a big name. But Copperhead, I think, has a lot of splaining to do. A lot more splaining to do. But we're going to see. We're going to find out. We got some comments here. Roy says, can you explain those little bots and what the purpose is? nuisance bots or distraction bots, they're exactly that, designed to distract or be a nuisance to the other bot. And they do work a lot of times. Sometimes they're little wedges that are set to keep you off center, get underneath you, and stop your wheels from turning because they high centered you. Or sometimes they're just designed to get in the way or clog up your tires, stuff like that. They are pretty fun. They can be effective. Most times they are not. But that's the night. That was a fun time we had watching BattleBots, but even more fun explaining it. Even more fun reviewing it, as you can see. This is Bot Thoughts. There's a petition floating around online. I'm not the one who made it. But they want me to be on BattleBots. Sign the petition. It's available on my Instagram, red_Jefferson. You could sign it if you want. I'm not twisting your arm. I didn't make it. But you should all check that out and sign it for me. Thank you. But this is Bot Thoughts with Red Jefferson. Follow Loserly's Wrestling. Subscribe. If you're new here, watch some of the wrestling program. It's a delight. Host with Roy Lazowitz on most Wednesday and Saturdays. We have the news. The news you can't lose for wrestling is this Saturday. But we'll be back for more Bot Thoughts next week. And I'll probably have a camera. I'm probably going to have a better camera going on. It's in the mail. So we're going to work on that. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a great night. The end of the show. This is the end of the show. I'm going to count it down because I did 5, 4,